Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call the Dover Select Board meeting to order on Tuesday, April 7th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. First order of business is public comments. Hearing none. Second, additions and deletions to the agenda.
I would like to move to add agenda item 10 for consideration. Ratification of a lawsuit settlement agreement.
All in favor of adding that to the agenda?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
It's unanimous, Jeanette. Thank you. All right, unfinished business. Consider Casella's 3-year contract proposal. Oh, everybody have a chance to look this over?
Yep.
You have any comments, Patrick?
More a couple of questions, and I don't know if we can answer them here, and if we can, great. If not, we can defer them. I guess I had two questions. I saw that there's a built-in price escalation vehicle that's kind of the greater of the CPI that applies to the trash business, I think loosely defined, or garbage hauling business, and 5%. That I actually followed the link that he had put in there, and I saw that the last time the last increase was 3.7%. So it feels to me like that's probably a little much. I don't know if there's room to negotiate that with them, but I reacted to that. The second comment was I don't know where the town stands with respect to the insurance requirements that are contained in the document. Actually, I had three comments. So hopefully Jeanette or someone could comment on that. And the third one was, I note that if for any reason the contract is there's loose rules for termination, but that if we ever decided to terminate it, we owe them 6 months worth of at least 6 months worth of charges, which seems a lot, particularly given that there's this ratchet provision in there, and that could be a healthy number at some point. So those are my three observations. I have concerns. Maybe there's someone who can address that or answer them, but that's what I saw.
They just came into the room, so.
Oh, hi, guys.
Number two. So, my first question is, has our legal looked at this? We should definitely run it by our legal. Does everybody agree?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Patrick, could you start over again with your first question or
Sure.
observation?
I can't warrant I'm going to take them in the same order because I have them here on the screen. So,
Okay.
first, the first comment was the escalator. I guess my question is, it looks like there are three different ways we can get to the annual escalation, and I understand and appreciate the desire to keep up with CPI, but it looks like it's at least 5% unless CPI is higher. I kind of hopefully you guys can shed a little light, because the example, the link you gave, the CPI was lower, but we would still be stuck with a 5% increase under that model. Second question, and I'm not sure who can answer this. This might be a Jeanette question. The insurance requirements here, I'm not sure what the town has in place in terms of insurance, and whether our attorneys would say that this is something we can or should do in terms of providing additional insured protection to Casella. And then finally, I need a little help on the liquidated damages clause under the effects of termination, because I think that the 6 times seems to be pretty substantial. So those are my three comments.
Give me 1 second just so I can remember all three, if you don't mind. So my name is David Allen. I'm the market area manager for Casella. That services is there with me is Tyler Hagan. Tyler's the account manager as well. For the same territory, we're responsible for what goes right or wrong up and down Route 91, basically on either side. So the first question, the CPI is a terrible indicator of what happens to our costs year to year. But it's independently measured and there really isn't a great one out there. It's the only independent index out there that we can all agree that you didn't develop and I didn't develop, so it's out there. And it really is a reflection of groceries and appliances, of what the cost of that is, highly influenced by gasoline. It's a terrible indicator of our cost structure, but we've picked it for years in our industry because there was nothing else. There is now a rubbish index, which is a little better, but only a little better. Our experience has been for 25 years that when we went into long-term or even mid-term agreements, 3, 4, 5 years, that we would have these CPI or rubbish index escalators each year that never kept up with our costs, and then all of a sudden at year 4 we need a 20% increase to a 30% increase because we didn't keep up. A great example is labor costs. I'm sure most of us have seen what's happened to labor costs in the last 3, 4 years. They have been double-digit increases, not anywhere near the CPI. So we use those indexes so that we can have something to look at independently. It's been our experience that it's never been less than 4 or 5%. At the same time, it's not a deal breaker for us. If there's something more reasonable, if you think 4% is more reasonable than 5%, we'll certainly agree to something reasonable. 2 or 3% we don't think is reasonable. Just the cost of labor and insurance, we know year after year. So if you think there's something that's more palatable, we're certainly open to having that discussion. But we do think it is only fair for us to keep pace beyond just the scope of what some random index produces. Again, we call out that random index only because there's really nothing better. I don't know if that helps answer that first question.
Patrick.
Yeah, it does, and I appreciate it. Thank you. I can understand your struggles with CPI, and I actually followed your link to the garbage and trash collection version of CPI, just so I could understand it. And yeah, that to me seems to be what you've suggested might be good. Maybe we strike out the second one and just follow the garbage, either the 4% and the garbage and trash collection as our option. Would that work?
If that if that makes you comfortable, we're perfectly fine with that.
Well, it's not just me. There are 4 other people, but
Yeah.
The collective view, I apologize.
Yeah.
Let's see tomorrow.
There any other comments about this? Questions?
Well, that's one answer to one question.
So, Jeanette, our insurance, or is this going to affect our insurance rates, or?
I don't see why it would.
Okay,
Well, the transfer station is covered
Yeah.
as a town.
The 5 million per goodness, is that, am I remembering that right?
I think most of the insurance dollar requirements in here, I believe, and I'm not
The
an
excess
attorney,
liability.
despite my mother wish, are requirements on us. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not on you. So the minimum,
no, this is naming Casella as an additional assured, lining out the coverage we have to give. So my specific question was, I guess, probably more directed to Jeanette. Is this consistent with our insurance coverage? And if our attorneys look at this, will they nod and say, yeah, that's okay?
Well, again, these are questions I would have liked to have had ahead of time because I don't have an answer for you on that.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I mean, we are insured with VLCT. All our buildings are insured. I mean, I can pull up the actual coverage, but I don't see that it would be an issue.
it usually is not with municipalities. Again, I certainly don't know your insurance circumstances. Again, if there's a number that meets your current insurance coverage, that seems reasonable, right? These numbers are picked because they seem reasonable and typical of insurance coverage we have with municipal customers. If your number is slightly different, these are not deal breaker numbers. If it was 0, that would be a deal breaker.
Right.
So if you all wanna look at that and.
We obviously will.
Sure.
As I said, we're gonna have our legal look at this. Obviously, you guys have had your legal look at it,
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
we're gonna do that. And we appreciate you're willing to negotiate and.
Sure.
And at some level, everything helps, obviously.
Understood, totally understood.
And the third question,
Sorry,
Was a liquidated damages clause under the effective termination paragraph.
yeah,
Sure. Again, I'll prove myself a lousy negotiator. If I could reword that, I would have a paragraph that said, what do you think's fair? We invest, we buy equipment, we build infrastructure, we hire people, not just the driver driving your truck, but the supervisor, the account manager, we have infrastructure that we have to distribute that cost over all our customers. We put liquidated damages in there because we're gonna make those investments and commitments. And it's hard to unring that bell in our business. Again, in my words, if you think there's a more fair number there, then we'll, what do you think is fair? We're not looking to corner you at all. I can tell you, I've been doing this for a long time, I think 40 some odd years. I've never won an argument with a customer. And I've never had a happy customer that I took to court, or held a contract over them. So again, if there's language that makes you more comfortable doing business with us, we're gonna be very flexible about that. But we're all humans, mistakes will happen, we'll make them, you'll make them. And we're really just looking for a document that says, what do we do when a mistake happens? So again,
Understood.
if there's language that you're more comfortable with, please, I think you'll find us very reasonable about it.
Sarah.
Do you know what percentage of your business Dover represents?
I do not, as you may know, so Dover is serviced out of our Brattleboro, Vermont location, used to be Triple T. And if I could go do some math, I don't know off the top of my head.
Right.
I would tell you our company, as you may know, has grown tremendously in the last 5 years. We're all the way to Kentucky and Pennsylvania. So that percentage is smaller and smaller, obviously. I will tell you, I've been with the company for 30 years. And most of that time I've been responsible for this geography. So you represent a very important piece of business to me. I'm not going anywhere. They're gonna get rid of me kicking and screaming, and we work very hard to find young guys like him who will allow me to retire someday. But as far as the national number, I don't know.
Because if we're talking about, you're talking about long-term investments,
Sure.
and if we're talking about compensating you somehow for the loss of against those investments, it would be interesting to know how much of what we spend with you represents your total budget.
Gotcha. I think, I could certainly find that out. The problem is I have to allocate its overhead costs that I have to, no different than when you're setting a tax rate. If you didn't plow one street, taxes don't go down for everybody, right? It's an allocation and it's kind of artificial. I have to spread it out. So I can't tell you that $1 of my cost would go away if you fired me, other than the actual.
No, I recognize that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, if you're asking us to basically cover your investments, your infrastructure, your all of that, it would be interesting to me to know how much of your total revenue is coming from Dover. Because if we represent, for example, 1%, I'm not sure that a half a year's worth of revenue from us is a balance.
I would tell you it's probably less than that company was.
Okay.
Yeah, I would guess. It's less than. Sir, I understand your question now. And again, it is, we are trying to create an agreement, right? That reflects what we both have in mind here, what we're trying to do, and it's been our experience, sometimes, again, a mistake will happen, it's the only thing I can guarantee, someone will make a mistake, there's no way this many humans get involved. And liquidated damages are really in contracts, just to make sure everyone takes a breath before we make a bad decision, us and you. Again, if there's if there's something you think is more fair, throw it at us, I think you'll find us to be reasonable.
I think knowing that number will help. To
Oh, I can tell you it's far less than 1%. I don't think I can do the math.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's for the math that you're thinking of, I think it's inconsequential.
Okay.
Again, it is representative of an allocation that we have to make on the assumption that we want to provide these services to everybody. But again, if you fired us tomorrow, I wouldn't fire him. Right? So a lot of those costs really don't have to.
Other questions, concerns? Yes, Jeanette.
So I was able to pull up our certificate of coverage. So as far as commercial general liability, it's $10 million. Automobile liability, $10 million, workers' comp, $5 million.
It's just far more than you're.
Yeah.
Overinsured.
Yeah, you're good.
Yes, all right, what's the board's feeling about this?
And I would be happy to have the attorneys review it before we sign it.
And can we agree to, some of the numbers in here?
I would propose 4% instead of 5%.
And just using the rubbish?
Yeah.
Oh, this one, consumer price index for garbage and trash collection.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we would like to see that at 4% and just use that.
Okay. That's good.
And
You'll cover, we're more than covered.
I think more of a 90-day.
Then
Patrick was looking at 60 months. I don't know if Patrick's got his thumb up. And the 90-day would be more just in case everything went south.
that's a fair.
Just all of a sudden,
All
all of a sudden a new company comes out, that's gonna be half your cost.
Sure.
I would
Okay.
love to have happen, but
Yeah.
probably not gonna. But we will switch.
There are new competitors every day.
Well, they're on this.
Around here. Yeah,
90 days is, again, that's fair.
yes, Jeanette.
So we're the 90 days.
It's-
Where are you talking about the
what-
pass-through charge?
Not those liquidated damages.
Jeanette, do you see it? It's under the effects of termination paragraph, like the fourth line after the words as calculate as follows.
Mhm.
It's really just changing.
Termination, Page 2.
Yeah.
It says 6 months.
So
Right
what
now,
they do
it
is
says
they,
the amount equals 6 times the greater customer prior month.
Yep.
We're saying 3 times, so
3
pretty much
Yeah.
the same 90 days.
yeah. So it's 3 months instead of 6 months in terms of the multiplier. You could take the average over the 6 months though, right? And that doesn't matter. It's the multiplier. That's the trick.
Joe.
But I mean, I think if we're in agreement, we could vote on this, barring that legal doesn't say that we can sign it for something. So we don't have to bring this up again.
Well, there probably will be some changes, so we probably will have to bring it up again. I'm just saying, this is how it works.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if you already spoke, I apologize for being late. We did agree to hold off on the rate increases to match up for your budget year for July 1.
Yes, so we appreciate that as well.
Happy to do it.
So we do have time.
We have budgets too, and we totally understand.
Sarah,
I would just like to say, I would like to strike the amount equal to 6 times the greater of the customer's prior monthly charge. And just make it the average monthly charge. Cause if the prior month is December,
Yeah, I think that's what that gentleman said as well, that's fine.
I don't wanna pay 3 months of December's.
Right, gotcha, that's fair. Again, these are kind of boilerplate stuff, just so we can have these kind of discussions. Got it.
anything else?
Right now for copy. Thank you very much.
I understand what you're saying, Joe, but if there are changes, then we're gonna have to vote on the changes.
And if there aren't changes, then it's just simple, we don't even have to discuss it, it's just a vote.
Yeah.
And we have time.
So I'll send you a document with what I believe I heard for these changes.
We love
You
that.
give us a
Great.
thumbs up if I got it right.
Thank you, yeah,
Gotcha.
that would be great, that would make her life a lot easier, and you deal with this contract probably over and over and over again, so.
I wish that were not true.
Well, thank you for coming and hopefully we can get this finished up at our next meeting.
Awesome, and he's here for you. I am too, obviously, but if there are ever any questions, whether they're questions about what's recyclable or what's going on with the industry or our little crystal ball, please take advantage of us. We know a lot about a very narrow subject, so please take advantage of us. We're available to come talk to you or whoever you might like.
Great, we
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Good night. Thanks.
Good night.
Thanks, guys.
For coming. Okay. We're gonna now move on to the update on the town common well project soil management plan for $12,020. The bills just keep. And this is basically for the testing of the soil.
Yes,
It's not actually removing any of the soil, it's for all the boreholes and the testing of it.
So in theory, if the tests don't reveal anything, there won't be any soil removal.
Or it would be soil.
Boy, that would be something, wouldn't
Wouldn't it
it? Wouldn't it? I don't know if it works that way, but yes,
How big an area is this?
it's in this plan here. And it's they're gonna have to go down sometimes 14 feet to get some.
basically, it's all, if I could.
Yes, please.
So it's basically all around where the dry well is, because they feel that that is most likely the source of the PFAS. So, I actually reviewed this again with, Jeremy and Stephen at Cass. This morning, and they are hoping to start this the week of April 20th, which is a couple of weeks now. The samples will be done all in one day, and the samples will be removed. They will take care of bringing those down to this Pace Analytical in East Long Meadow to do the analysis, and that is included in that $12,020.
Because they also have, it has to be secure,
Chain
because
of evidence.
they do not want anybody swapping out some, yeah.
Right, so they're gonna handle
Yeah.
all that, getting it from the site to them. They said normally it takes about 2 weeks to get the results back, which would bring us to the first week in May. They're hoping to be able to remove the dry well either last week of May, first week of June. And then, I mean, barring any, I mean, it all depends on what comes back with these test results, obviously. If there is PFAS in the soil, then that brings it to a whole nother level. So just hope that there isn't. They would, at the time that they remove the dry well, they would be able to trench for the water line that's gonna come up from the new wells up to the building. Yeah, so I mean, it all depends. If the PFAS is detected in the soil samples, then, and there's a whole process as far as transporting the impacted soil. Right now, they're looking at other sources, but right now, the only place they can find that's permitted to take this is in Michigan. They believe there are other sites, New Jersey, etc. So that's gonna be another cost as far as taking it to Michigan, hopefully.
Yes.
Which I don't even tell you about. So,
And there's a fair amount of, that could potentially be contaminated.
yes, and they charge so much by the ton
Mhm.
to remove it, and obviously they have to be certified and to
Mhm.
do that sort of work. So anyways, this is really the first step in getting to our conclusion, which we have the construction permit is good through the end of June. And they're hoping to stay on schedule with that.
So if for some reason this gets waylaid and, or there's a lot more soil that's contaminated, is that something that can be extended? Okay.
Yes, we've
Thank
already extended more than once.
Yes,
Is there,
there.
is there any possibility of postponement if the ground is frozen, too frozen to, or will there, is there equipment?
It's not,
Well, it snowed today, so I'm asking.
it's not so.
It's
As
snow.
far as, you mean in a couple
Like, are they gonna
weeks,
be able to
whether
do their
they-
soil samples?
They're gonna do boreholes.
There's not
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
think
any-
their equipment will
Mhm.
get through
Okay,
whatever.
I'm just,
got going.
double check.
Yes.
20 years ago, I had my 2 acres of property tested by Griffin International with Merrill Lindell and Jeff Brown. They dug 10 holes, 18 feet long, 8 feet deep, and they came up with nothing on the property. And it cost $1,800. Now, that was 20 years ago. It seemed like a lot of money.
Yeah, it does seem like a lot of money, but
Yeah.
your house was a junkyard.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I don't blame you for wanting to have it tested, you know, so, but yeah, you remember that, right? So, I mean, I get it, and you're lucky they came out nothing.
Right, so
Yeah.
I mean, did you had PFAS
No.
on the site? Right, so.
So hopefully we won't
got
have
PFAS.
Yeah.
We've already got.
that.
We already got
We
feedback.
already know we have it, we just wanna know how far it goes.
No, it's in, well, I think it's from the.
So, do we wanna move forward with this next step, the soil management plan for $12,020?
I don't think we should stop and shut the building,
Move everything into the elementary school?
have everyone start protesting. See what the state does, cause this is just way over the amount of money that anyone in their right mind should spend for a project like this. I mean, we're gonna be over $200,000
Yeah,
and we still don't have water.
Right.
Jeanette.
Still an if bet.
No, I was gonna say, so we do have that. That the
Mhm.
money we transferred into this special fund, so we still have 165,000. Of that money to use, which I'm sure
Thank you for that number, Jeanette.
we will use.
Alright, I make a motion that we pursue the soil management plan for $12,020.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Alright.
Aye.
Aye.
Do we have to say to be paid out of the?
No, we have that's already a dedicated fund.
Gotcha.
All right, moving on to the highway, we're going to consider letter of intent to participate in the fiscal year 27 municipal roads grants in aid. And we are eligible for potentially $15,000.
This is basically something that we
Do
participate in every year. So it's
Me.
just a little.
So I make a motion that we authorize the chair to sign the letter of intent to participate in the SFY 27 municipal roads grants and aid program.
Sorry.
for Joe first. You want,
to, but
I'll do that one, then I'll keep you in mind.
Instead of doing getting mad.
We didn't actually.
Can you vote?
All in favor?
Yeah, we got, I thought we voted.
Aye.
Let me give this back to Jeanette. Okay, that was quick. All right, so we're into economic development. We are not gonna consider the pickleball tournament event application tonight, but we are gonna consider the 5K and the Farm Road Music Festival event. Farm Road Music Festival event, they're asking for 10,000, and the 5K, they're asking for $3,977.50. That's an interesting number.
Is that a specific percentage of the total?
It's on the budget sheet, but so those are the same amounts as last year, for both events. This year, the events are happening on the same weekend again, but I actually asked that they stay separate applications in case they split dates again in the future. And I do see Mike's here, if you have questions, sure, if you have.
Do we have the dates? Mike?
It's 4th of
Yep.
July week.
4th of July weekend. So it's July 3rd, which is our comedy night, July 4th, which is the music festival, and July 5th, which is the 5K.
A fun packed weekend.
Action packed. That's what we bring.
Does anybody have any questions for Mike? Or Shannon?
Patrick?
Yes, Patrick.
Yeah. So were you just looking to cover half the costs plus $2.50? Is that how you came up with the number? That's what it is.
It pretty much is. Yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
number that we came down to on the 5K, that was, that was a percentages of the costs.
Yeah.
And the music festival, that was the number that we went with last year, and we don't plan on spending more this year. So
Yeah.
that just aligned with what we did last year. So that was
Right.
our thoughts on the asking for the grant numbers on these.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything from anybody? Somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the applications for the 5K and Farm Road Music Festival event programs. In the amounts requested.
Second.
Second.
Dan got that one, Patrick, sorry. All right, all in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. I'm sticking around, so I'll be
I
here.
make a motion, we go into the Board of Liquor Control.
Second.
Second by Joe, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion that we approve the first class, third class and outside consumption permit for Sawmill Bar and Table. And the second class license, tobacco license and tobacco substitute license for 7-Eleven, subject to receipt of any required fees or forms.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to come out,
I make a motion to come out of Board of Liquor Control.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we have the minute consent agenda, minutes of March 17, 2026.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of March 17.
Second.
Second.
Any corrections, errors?
I wasn't here for it, so.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Joe abstains.
I wasn't there. So.
And now we have the warrants of March 28th, 2026 in the amount of $133,086.47.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Money for gravel.
All right. FYI, the Rock River Flood Community Meeting is April 11th at the Dover Town Hall from 10 to noon.
I don't think
I'm planning to be there. I know Tabby's gonna be there.
Yeah.
So,
I actually own Rock River.
yeah, you should, and I just saw tonight more trees down in the river. So, you know, it just keeps, it'll be interesting what they have to say, and I'm not sure
I didn't look across the street.
Planning Commission meets April 13th at 6:30 PM. Dover Water Task Force meets April 22nd at 5 PM. And Green Up Day is Saturday, May 2nd. Yay. Liaison, oh,
I was gonna say, Lori, let me know, 9 to 11 at the Dover School, and also pick up bags here as well, if you like.
thank you. Liaison reports? Okay,
Okay, so, pursuant to executive session,
you have a question?
No, I have a liaison report.
Oh, okay.
Travis wanted to switch two of the guys, one, who was doing maintenance has a CDL. He wants to put him on the highway part of it, and the guy who's, doesn't have the CDL, he wants to do with maintenance. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, he contacted me as well. So, it's his decision to deal
Yeah,
with this,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
okay.
All right,
So I move to find that premature public knowledge of pending litigation information and attorney-client communications would place the select board at a substantial disadvantage, including by disclosing confidential information and potentially waiving attorney-client privilege.
Sorry,
all in favor, or do we need a second, sorry.
sorry.
Second by Joe,
All right.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
No executive session.
yeah, so this is it.
So, under one VSA, section 313A1E and F, I move to enter executive session and invite legal counsel and the town administrator to join.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Okay, so we're going into executive session at 7:07.
Okay, I move to ratify the litigation settlement agreement with John Flores as discussed in executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do you have a copy I can sign? Jeanette? Thanks.
This is gonna be a straight dollar amount, so you have to send them like a 1099, correct? So how's that gonna work? The tax purposes and stuff? How's that usually work?
I believe so, but I think we discussed that. when we were
Did you
doing
hear that?
this.
Yeah, is that?
Yes, yes, you can issue him a 1099.
Right.
A lot of times these things would go through payroll, but since he hasn't been an employee for some time, it's not going to go through payroll. So yes, I agree, issuing a 1099 is appropriate.
Jeanette?
Can I just ask a question? So we're processing bills next week. Is that something I can do next week, or does it need, I mean, since it's been approved?
Yes, as long as you can go ahead as soon as you're ready procedurally to do it. You can contact me. We can talk outside the meeting about exactly how to make it payable. I'll probably contact the attorney to make sure on that. That's not a detail we've covered yet. And then you'll send it to me and then I'll send it to them.
Anything else?
Not from my end. I just want to say thank you very much for your perseverance.
Well, thank you very much for working for us, and we appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so I like to have a motion to
Adjourn.
Adjourn.
7:16. Yeah.
right.
Like, is that camera off? Okay.
That's on.
All right, well, have a great wedding out there.
Yeah, when
Thank
is the
you.
wedding?
The wedding is Saturday. We have a thing Friday night and a wedding on Saturday. So,
Yay.
and I think Julia's got people line dancing with her on Friday night. So, so notice I didn't mention myself in that.
Are you gonna claim a
description.
bad knee or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
I didn't hear